Well, hello everyone. I hope you're having a blessed and beautiful day today. So today is going to be a little bit difficult for me. It's going to be something where I'm going to share with you my heart and things that I've been dealing with and battling. And I wanted to come on and just share mostly for women who might be feeling like they are in the same position, that I want you to know that you are not alone in this, that there are people out there like myself who deal with this pretty frequently, and maybe some men too, but and this is in no way to bring focus on myself and anything that I want to hear, all the praises and stuff. This is simply to express how I have been feeling and what I've been dealing with and going through. And some days are better than others, and I will go through periods of time where I will be fine, and then all of a sudden, just out of nowhere, this stuff will start creeping in, and that is self-loathing. And sometimes they are worse than others. Some days are worse than others, and I find myself even verbalizing to myself out loud when I'm looking in the mirror, and I verbalize to myself that I'm ugly, or that I'm fat, or that I don't look attractive, or that there's something wrong with me. And my inside, I'm beautiful on the inside. I have a heart for the Lord. I have the heart for others, and but sometimes that the inside doesn't fit the outside, or what I see on the outside. And so I tend to shut down, and I tend to have a really hard time struggling with that. And I've had through my whole life, even in school, where I've had boys telling me that I'm ugly, or that they didn't want to be seen with me, or didn't want to date me because I'm ugly. Prom dates that didn't want to be with me because I'm ugly. So I had that early on in my life, and so that has been something that I struggled with probably since then, because it was constant. And then when I married my ex-husband at the time, or my ex-husband, the insults kept coming, and the calling me a fat pig, and saying that nobody could ever love me because of how ugly I am. And so it was just a continual thing that was being ingrained into me. And you begin to believe it, and you begin to believe that it's obvious that there's something wrong with you, and that you really aren't that beautiful. And I battle with this even still today. I've been struggling for the last few days of just feeling, I'm sorry, hang on, of feeling the self-loathing, and the feeling of not being lovable, and feeling ugly, and even verbalizing it to myself that I'm not attractive, I'm not pretty. And I've had people close to me in my life, even now, who have said that I am not attractive unless I am thin, and that I cannot be attractive unless I am thin, like before I had children. Now, I want to share with the women who might deal with this too, but I'm 5 feet tall, and when I got pregnant, I got very, very large when I was pregnant. Not fat, but my stomach was huge. And after my first pregnancy, I was so incredibly large that it destroyed my stomach. And I kept getting pregnant very soon after having the baby. And so my stomach didn't have time to heal. I had C-sections with my children, and so my stomach really didn't have time to go back together and form the muscles back together. And so my last pregnancy was for my daughter, and during that pregnancy I was so big that they thought I was having triplets because I was measuring at a triplet stomach size, and that was early on, and so they kept checking for more heartbeats because I was just measuring so large. And that pregnancy destroyed my stomach completely, and I have a condition what is called diastasis recti, where my stomach muscles are separated, and I look pregnant all the time, and it won't ever go back unless I have surgery. And I also have a herniated belly button, so that's an even further thing. So, you know, when I try on clothes, I'm not attractive in my clothes. I try on outfits and I want to be beautiful. I want to look a certain way. I have an expectation of being sexy and beautiful in these outfits, and I'm not. And I see my belly that looks pregnant, and you know, that in turn brings out the self-loathing in myself. And so this is something that I struggle with, and you know, when it's continually ingrained in you, even by people close to you that tell you that you only look good a certain way, or like I just cut my hair. Okay, my hair was down to my butt, and I was sick of it. I was sick of sitting on it. The kids were sitting on it, and it was getting stuck in windows and doors, and it was just too long for me. And so I cut my hair, and I did it myself, and I was very proud of myself because I cut my own hair. Can you believe that? And people around me, they didn't like it, and they said that it wasn't attractive, and I don't look good with short hair, and you know, the loathing continued. And so, you know, if you're a woman and you are dealing with this yourself, I want you to know that you are not alone, that you know, this is a battle that we deal with, and you know, it's hard to remember that the way that God sees us. It's hard to remember that He loves us and He made us a certain way, and it's hard to remember that He doesn't see our outside, but He sees our inside. And that's something that I have to try to keep reminding myself of, because you know, it wasn't that long ago, even here on YouTube, and you know, people making videos ridiculing me over my weight and saying that I'm fat, and you know, that tore me up. And I know some people, it's not a lot, it doesn't mean anything to them, but unless you know the history of me and what has happened and what has been said to me, I guess you really don't understand. And so when that happened, it tore me up, and I've been battling with that ever since. As you can tell, I don't come on very often anymore. I usually just use my voice. I don't normally use my face anymore, because that, and it stemmed from that. And so, you know, that's just something that I deal with, and that's something that I'm struggling with even now. And, you know, it's hard. It's hard when you have that ingrained in you since childhood, that you are basically only good if you look a certain way, or you are only attractive if you look a certain way, or you know, if somebody who says that they love you tells you that you know, you're not attractive unless you're thin, and that, you know, double chins, I'm getting one, double chins aren't attractive, and that they would starve themselves before they would have a double chin, which was said today. And so it's hard, and you know, I could use your prayers right now, to feel better about myself, about how the Lord sees me and how He loves me, and how the beautiful inside of me I can see the outside of myself, the way that I feel on the inside. And it's easier for people to say, well, you shouldn't care about what people feel or what people think. And it's true in a sense, but at the same time, it's hard, and we all struggle with something. We all struggle in our different ways. We all struggle with something in our life. And this just happens to be what I struggle with the self-loathing and the verbalization of you're not beautiful and you're ugly and you're fat and you're nothing. And so that is something that I deal with. And like I said, I know that there's other women out there, and even possibly men, that deal with this themselves, that feel that way. And I want you to come into this community with me and join with me, and we can lift each other up and build up one another, because I think that helps also. If we have brothers and sisters that can lift each other up and keep reminding each other that God loves us, and He loves us the way that we are. And if you're heavy or you're thin or anywhere in between, that He loves you just the same, and that He died for you just the same. And just because you are heavy or thin doesn't take away the fact that He died for you, and that He loved you enough to die for you, and that He's coming again to bring you home. He looks at our hearts, and He looks at the intentions of our hearts. He doesn't look at our outside image, because they always say that beauty fades, and we are all getting older, and we are all shriveling up, and we're wrinkling, and we are never going to look the same as we once did. And sometimes it's hard for me too, because I am getting older, and so I see pictures of myself back in the day, and I think, oh my gosh, look how beautiful I was, and it happens, and the condition that I have with my stomach, unfortunately, is not one that I can afford to fix. So I have to learn to deal with and learn to live with the pregnant belly that I have continuously, as a reminder of the enormous pregnancies that I had. So God gave me 3 beautiful children, so that should be my reminder, not the big belly. So I hope this helped somebody today. I felt like I needed to come on and just share with you what I've been struggling with, and why I don't normally come on here and show my face anymore, and what I am thinking, what I'm dealing with. So if you are dealing with this yourself, or if you have thoughts of this yourself, please email me or message me, so that we can talk with one another and lift each other up, because at this point of my life, I need other believers to lift me up and to remind me of what God says about me. So, and again, this is not a video to gain all of the attention. It's not something that I want to hear, oh, you're beautiful. It's not anything like that. I just wanted to share what I'm dealing with, so that maybe I could possibly help somebody who might be feeling alone, or is feeling the same way, and they feel like nobody else feels that way. Or you have a condition like I do with the stomach, and you feel like that you're alone. Just know that you're not alone. So with that, I love you guys, and I'm gonna let you go. So I love you, and until next time, may you be richly blessed.